Thank you, dignitaries. Let's all join together for a group picture.
Fast. If you're not fast today, customers don't have the time, because all of us are toggling between various things that we want to do. Even as we sit here, many of us are looking at our mobile phones because of the fact that that's the way life is for us. The life is about being in multiple places, our attention being in multiple places, and to capture the time of customers is becoming difficult. When you capture and when you do not deliver, it's difficult. No wonder that quick commerce is working well, because most of us go to the kitchen, suddenly remember, oh, we call on our mobile phone, continue our cooking. So that's the way life is. So I think that fast is becoming important, and many people, yesterday we were sitting in a nice place in one of our members' houses. I won't tell the person's name currently, but we know whom we sat with. And 50% of the people did not watch the cricket match, although it was the last few overs of the match. Why? They said it's a 5-day match. I can't even stand this. So unfortunately, we're becoming like that. We don't even want to see that 5-day match because we are into a very fast-paced thing. If it's a 2020, maybe more people would have watched at that same time. So that's the way fast is. And then the E is about everywhere. We want our retailers to be with us anytime and every time, and from wherever we are. Even I am sitting in some other part of the world, if I have to shop and send something at my house, I should be able to access that particular retailer. If you are not as a retailer with me every time, then I don't want you with us. So this is what is happening as the 4 things in the minds of consumers, and lots more. I'm sure each one of you got your own theory and methods to it, but this is what is the thought process there. But more importantly, I think today I want to dedicate a little bit of thoughts, and I'm not going to talk about time here, to a concept that I think is what I learned yesterday evening when I was sitting with everybody. I think the entire set of businesses, especially in retail, is going through a concept around breaking the myths. All of us are thinking that a business is done in a particular form. The day we get into that thought process, there are others who come in and they break that particular myth altogether. If you look at everything that's happened to each one of you in your own businesses, if Mr. Kodandraman started Vivek's in those years, he started it by breaking a few myths around the retail business on the electronics businesses. Because he said, okay, if you are into the CDIT product, the consumer durables product, then I'm going to break the myth. I'm going to do a sale on the 31st, which Mr. Biju Kurian talked about, on the year end, that will be better than anybody else. And if you think that there cannot be discounts given, at a time when it was not easy to create discounts for electronic products, he broke the myth. If you look at each one of you, I just saw Mr. Poti here, when he came in, I'm sure when he first set up this very large store, people said, then he said, okay, I'll do it, let's see where it goes. I come from Shopper Stop. When we set up Shopper Stop, the very first time, people say, how can you do a 50,000 square feet store in this country to sell garments and accessories? But the fact is that we converted a theatre, it got into a situation where people came in and said, ippadi kuda shopping panna mudiyuma. So that broke the myth. But if you really look at today, it's much more than that. Today's breaking the myth is about there is no barrier to entry into this business of retail. All of us used to think that you need a little bit of capital and money to enter into retail. But when Biju was talking about that ability to do social commerce, I have known people who not even had 5,000 rupees, who started doing trading online thanks to social media, maybe on Instagram, and suddenly they are saying that they've got a brand which is now in multiple countries, not just in India, in multiple countries, because they've created a very large business that otherwise we cannot really imagine. There are people who are entering today at an age where we will think that we are still going to be studying in school and colleges. People who are doing their business at 17 and 18 years of age and still able to run businesses. So there are people currently breaking myths. Unless we get involved in our own business and keep thinking, is there a myth that we can break in this business? I think we may land ourselves into a different situation. Even as we do our events, I keep telling our team that if we don't break something which has always been conventional in its nature, we may not be able to do a better job of it. So with that, I will hope that all of us will go out of this room learning a few things from each other, trying to see if we can go back home and try and break a myth that can change the fortunes of our business so that we can really create what I would call as business continuity. We would say, why break a myth and then create continuity? But you can't create continuity without breaking a myth. I do believe that many of us are into a situation where we have businesses that runs well because we are there. But the question is, will that company that I want all of us to go out with, if you are involved in a business which can't outlive you, again there is a question mark about business continuity. With those two, I do hope that we are going to enjoy ourselves. We have a lot of things set up for you the whole day, and I'm sure Ritesh is going to tell us what's in stock. Thank you, namaskaram.
Thank you, Mr. Kumar Rajagopalam, for showering us with a lot of insights. And now, a warm Chennai hospitality is going to lead us, and please welcome Mr. Suhail Satar, Chairman of the Chennai Chapter and Managing Director of Hasbro Clothing, to deliver the welcome address to all of us. Welcome, sir.
Hi, good morning, vanakkam. So one half of my speech Biju stole, and the other half of my speech Kumar stole. So they have delivered my opening address. Jokes aside, we have Mr. Godan Raman here, and I'd like him to deliver the welcome address. He doesn't come very often, so you can give the mic to him, please. Mr. Godan Raman. It's a very special occasion for us, and at RAI would not have been formed without his support. So today, as a mark of respect to him, I'd like him to deliver welcome.
Very good morning, all of you, dear friends. I am really felt very happy to see all of you. For a considerable time, I could not able to attend, but I know the kind of birth. I have seen the birth of Retailer Association of India. We are used to struggle to form this association. And time has come, 20 years before, we could able to nurture this, and today it has grown, and it is one of the best organizations, Retailer Association India, serving to the community of retail. In turn, these retailers can go back to the customers and they can able to reach millions of customers. They have done. I'm extremely happy for our chairman to be present here and see that event is going. Kumar is taking every effort. See that this 13th, I hope, 13th year of Chennai chapter, certainly it will grow, do well, and people spoke about it in the country, how we are conducting, how we are responding. And I am really happy to say, and we are proud, that most of the retailers that it used to say that Chennai is the retailer Mecca. It is a birthplace. You cannot even today, after 20, 30 years of thing, nobody can able to match the brands which are housed here. It has become a global and national brands. Thank you very much for attending. I am really happy for giving me an opportunity to speak and say, and best friend has come as a chief guest, and certainly the kind of brand which he has built in this country, nobody can able to do it. You will certainly better to hear from him how this brand has come up. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you, Vijay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Very nice, sir.
Thank you so very much, Mr. V.A. Godan Raman Chetty, sir, founder of Vivek's. Please land him a big round of applause. Thank you, sir, and thank you, Mr. Suhail Satar, sir, as well. And now let's spark some excitement, inviting the storytelling maestro behind today's theme. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Dr. Hitesh Bhatt, Director, Marketing and Communications at RAI and Editorial Director at Storai Magazine.
Good morning, Chennai. As sir said, this is the 13th year for our Chennai chapter and Chennai Retail Summit as well. I take this pride and it's an honor, to share with you what's in it for today. We have got who's who of the Chennai or Tamil Nadu retail here with us today, right from this time till the end of the evening, which we are going to end with our awards. We start, like sir just now said, that we have got a very, very big dignitary with us, our chief guest, R.G. Chandramogan, founder of Hatsun Group. And like all of you, even I am, eagerly waiting to hear how this brand has, come up. We all know the story, but to hear from sir's mouth, the man who did it is something, inspirational. We'll be having, couple of panels throughout the day, and then we have got a couple of standalone presentations. Plus, we have got 1 or 2 fireside chats. The whole day is structured in such a way that we are going to take care of many aspects, starting from, scaling up smartly, strategies for sustainable growth. If you look at what Biju sir and Kumar sir spoke about, somewhere or the other that growth is the underlying factor. And how that growth is going to happen, and here the word growth is not important, sustainable growth is important in today's world. And that's what we are going to discuss immediately, after this in the first panel. We are going to have some presentations on global selling, how you can sell globally. We have got our colleagues from Amazon Global Selling who are going to share with us how you can scale up globally. We are going to have a presentation on leads to loyalty and growth. So how are you getting your leads, whether it is online or offline? From those leads, how are you converting the customers, and from those customers, how are you going to convert it into loyalty? Now, how that's going to happen and what are the tools for it? WhatsApp, RCS, etc. are some of the tools in today's world. Kumar sir did mention that all of us are, constantly in touch with this, and that's why many of us have this neck problem, that's the reason. But those neck problems are here, that WhatsApp is something which has transformed the way we do the business, and this is what this presentation and the discussion on how to get leads and loyalty. We are going to have something on cash management services. Many of you are doing cash management, all of you in fact, so we are going to have a presentation there. We are having a panel discussion on tradition meets innovation, building retail generations. Now, what do you mean by tradition meets innovation, and what do you mean by retail generations? It's not about from father to son and so on and so forth. But the way, apart from that, how retail has changed. If you look at Biju sir's slide of kind of commerce is social commerce, quick commerce, and all the others online, offline. The way, the tradition has changed by these innovations. And that's where the current retail business is going a paradigm shift. Just in the morning, I was discussing with somebody, and that was not expected. I was discussing with a couple of them, in fact. And we have seen the paradigm shift happening not only here in Chennai, but that is across the retail sector all across the country. How are we going to face that challenge? Because one thing is for sure, everybody is in the same boat. It's going to hit you today or tomorrow, but it's definitely going to hit you. And how are we going to be prepared for that? Another thing that we are going to discuss on beyond the metros, big opportunities in smaller cities. Now, if you look at it, quick commerce people and companies are investing huge thousands of crores is what their plans are, because they've got their fundings till today. Some of them are coming with 1,000 dark stores, 2,000 dark stores in the next 5 years. Where are these dark stores going to be? Whose business they are going to take away? Right from, we have a car here and we saw a couple of months back, buy a Skoda on, quick commerce. So everything will be sold there. But what does the opportunity this tier 2 and tier 3 and tier 4 cities has for us? Are we prepared for that? And it's something that we can hear from all the esteemed panels that we have with us. We are going to talk about a lot of AI.
India's largest lab-grown diamond brand. We have 23 showrooms across India and counting. So that's a little bit about myself.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you, RAI, for giving us the opportunity. I'm Vanjimuthu Palaniswamy, representing Boomerang Ice Cream, and I'm the founder of the brand. We are a 28-year-old company, having 27 stores across Coimbatore and nearby. And still we are growing.
Thank you. Please.
Yeah, good afternoon everyone. I'm Amarnath Datta. I head the business for N. Rangarao and Sons, the makers of Cycle Agarbatti. We are in the business for the last 77 years, and it's my humble privilege and to say that we are the market leaders in this segment and continue to be so. We go to about 5,500 distributors. We have a sales team of about 12,000 plus, and we are proud to say that we are part of 6 billion prayers globally. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm Saurabh Kumar. I'm CEO with the Kaleshwari Group. I head the retail business, and our company is a market leader in the edible oil segment in India. Our flagship brand Gold Winner, Deepam, are the segment leaders, and other than the edible oil staples, we are also into biodiesel and now into getting into retail. So that's about me and the company. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon everyone. My name is Sridhar. I represent a company called Salesforce. I think I'm the odd one in the group. I work for a tech company. Don't hold it against me, but I'm very passionate about retail. It's great to be in Chennai. It's an exciting retail market. We work with a lot of brands. I think Aishwarya, I'm going to use your name to say that. She was saying, oh, you're a big company, but yes, we are a big company, but we do work with a lot of small companies across the entire sector. Really excited to be here and share some insights. Thanks.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Isaac Bright. I'm from Salem. I'm the founder of Ma Foods, Ma Food Products of India. I'm the founder of Daily Fresh Fruits India Private Limited. I'm the FMCG company, beverage brand in our beverage sector. And now we reached around 600 crores turnover in that company. Thank you.
Hi everybody. I'm Balachandra Raju, Managing Director of Haribhavanam Restaurants India Private Limited, Coimbatore. This is a chain of restaurant. We are the #1 non-vegetarian restaurant in Coimbatore, and we have around 9 outlets. We employ around 1,000 people, and we are placed completely in Coimbatore alone. We have not gone anywhere abroad. And I am the second generation entrepreneur, and this is a 55-year-old company. Thank you.
Thank you everyone. Let me start with a prayer, and that prayer, obviously that prayer is good for everyone, and when we do pray, one thing that comes in our mind is an agarbatti, and we have with us here today Amarnath, who heads the marketing for Cycle Agarbatti. Amarnath, can you tell us, Cycle is one of India's most traditional brands, most respected brands, and as you rightly said, it's the market leader. How have you managed to innovate over 7 decades, within the product that is so deeply cultural, spiritual, and emotional.
Yeah, thank you so much for the question. And I'd like to say that innovation as a word is very misunderstood. People talk a lot only about the product, but I strongly believe, and it's a belief in our organization, that innovation is a mindset. It is not just only the product. But I'll take you back in history, and as you said, we've been there for 7 decades. Our founder, Mr. Ranga, when back in the days in 1950s, agarbatti used to be sold in very tin containers, very very bulky. The quality was not very great, but that's how it used to be sold in kilos, etc. So he actually said that if I need to think differently, I need to innovate, I need to disrupt the market. And how did he go about doing that? He actually had the perseverance to think decades ahead. He said that the base of an agarbatti is fragrance, and if I need to disrupt the market, I need to be the best in fragrance that I want to offer to the consumer. So learning number one for us as we look back in innovation is know your consumer, but be very very strong to understand what can be the differentiating factor for you. He actually at that point of time he brought books from France which took 9 months to reach, and he made the best agarbatti possible in terms of fragrance. The convenience we talk about of quick commerce today, at that point of time he actually made those tin containers into those cardboard boxes which we see agarbatti today. So Cycle was the first to launch agarbattis in a cardboard packet. The third is it's not just about the product, as I said, it's how you go to the market. He actually at that point of time, even today, retailers play a very very strong role in our industry. And any manufacturer, any brand for that matter, will always want to create a brand value so that you're not entwined by the retailer's push. So what he did was he went from one shop to the other. He just lit 2 agarbatti sticks every morning. And because the belief was very strong that the product is great, the news spread every day for 2 months. He just went and lit 2 agarbatti sticks. And after a few weeks, a lot of consumers came calling to the retailers and saying that, what is this fragrance? What have you launched? The retailers had no idea because, this man used to come there, just light 2 agarbatti sticks and go home. They found this man and they said, why don't you sell agarbattis to us? He refused. He refused to sell them for two more months. He used to give them a packet that please use it in your shop, use it at home, but I'm not going to place your products. And as we all talk about, word of mouth and the power of the pull, the retailers came back, after him and said, you please place your products in our shop. There's so much demand and we don't want to miss it. And that's the innovation mindset that we've been, cultured through over decades. And hence, he placed the product at a premium to what prevailing market price was, and there was a huge demand from consumers. So that's the mindset I'm talking about. As we then, I'll just take a few more seconds. Please. As we move from the decades of 50s to 70s, 80s, we launched, Samrani in a very, very ready-to-use cup Samrani format, and it's under the brand Nivedya. From there, we also innovated, and today we actually are launching the service platform of ours called Astro Puja, where a lot of sites offer astrology services. But if you have a dosha or if you want to perform a puja, we'll give you end-to-end services. So from the astrologer to performing the puja is the end-to-end services what Astro Puja will actually give to you. So from agarbatti, which is in the space of the puja room, to devotional products under a brand Om Shanti, and as my colleague said that they have gold winner as a brand under the brand name Deepam. We also have a brand called Om Shanti, which has puja oil, kumkum, turmeric, and whatever you use in the puja room, to Astro Puja, which is into Astro services. So that's been our journey. And from there, as I said, while it's been product and the way we go to the market, but for us, innovation is also about purposeful innovation. And today, it's my privilege to say that what a lot of organizations talk in boardrooms, we've done 1 decade back. Today, we are 100% carbon neutral. We are 100% plastic neutral. And we are really proud to say that, it's not just we are part of prayers, we are also part of the endeavor of future generations. So that's what I mean about innovation. It's more purposeful innovation as a frame of mind than just tweaking the product.
customer is demanding and still the retailer is not giving. Have you ever heard? We heard right now. For 2 months, the owner was not giving, right? Am I right? And this is what innovation mindset is all about. And these are some of the tactics and strategies that are used. Another thing that, right from an Agarbatti brand to a digital service platform of Puja, Om Shanti. Now look at the diversification that has happened, but this is concentric diversification only. That right from selling an agarbatti to a digital platform where you don't have any product, but yes, everything is digital, and this is where innovation comes in. A big hand to Cycle Agarbatti and the innovation that they have done. Now I'll move to Saurabh Kumar, CEO Retail Kaleswari Group. Saurabh ji, your products are staples in many homes, and yet you are entering modern retail formats. What challenges and surprises came with that transition and this innovation? And what was the reason or the reason to get into this?
See, any big business, any established business, we look at long-term growth, and we look at newer areas where opportunity exists. And my friend Amarnath mentioned about innovation. So innovation is not alone about doing new things, and in any big board meeting you always hear, and most of you hear, do something innovative. Do something innovative. If not anything, at least your bosses and my bosses will always talk about it. So I think the true definition of innovation, as we see, is doing right thing at the right time. There's also a time to it. And I start with what we did about 6 decades ago. We launched a product which is nothing but a 1 liter packaged oil. And believe me, that was innovation. And that innovation stuck so much at the heart of the people that it became a culture. It became a culture, it became a household culture. We did not spend hundreds of crores in marketing. So that's the philosophy. And however, when we look at next 2 to 3 decades ahead, this is past. We all can't live. Figured out that we need to leverage our strengths. And what is our strength? Ultimately, the strength is the mindshare that the brand has created among the consumer. And how do we leverage that? And if you see it from that perspective, you will have a different definition of what is business expansion and what is diversification. It says, what is the mindshare of the people when they talk about the gold winner and they talk about Deepam? It's about spirituality. It's about kitchen. It's about using a consumer product in your lifestyle as day to day. And that's the wider canvas we took. And with that canvas, he says, okay, what next to be done is when we started diversifying into retail. And believe me, most of the businesses will undergo a very rapid change in the model that they operate. However, a goods needs to be produced and a good needs to be sold. That will still remain the way it is for some time to go. And that's when we said that retail is one place, while it is extremely congested, and believe me, everybody, including many people in this room, discouraged us. Why enter retail? It's fully congested. There are no shops available in Chennai. That's also a point to be taken. But still we said, yes, there is a space that we will have to make up for ourselves, and we said we will get into retail.
There is no space in Chennai, why are you entering? But this is the answer, that we will have to create space. Now here, Saurabh ji is talking only about the physical space, but yes, he also is talking about the mental space. That although you may be, the customer is with the competition, but still that's an opportunity for you to get back that space of that mind space, and definitely the wallet space. With that, I would like to go to Isaac sir. Isaac sir, you are into manufacturing of beverages, FMCG, etc. The retailing fresh produce is one of the oldest forms of trade we all know. How have you used innovation, perhaps in sourcing, supply chain, or branding, to stay competitive? And here, I was having a short discussion with Isaac sir before this panel, and he did mention about it, and definitely I would like to hear from him again, so that you can hear how he has maintained that sourcing and supply chain and that consistency which was there even almost 2 decades back. Over to you, Isaac sir.
Yeah,
நாங்கள் எஃப்எம்சிஜி இருக்கிறோம். எஃப்எம்சிஜி ஆல்வேஸ் இட்ஸ் அ வெரி காம்படிட்டிவ் வேர்ல்டு. டெஃபினட்டாக அதில் வந்து தெர் இஸ் லாட் ஆஃப் காம்படிஷன். இன்னோவேஷன் இஸ் மஸ்ட். எவ்ரிடே இன்னோவேஷன் இருக்கணும். எஃப்எம்சிஜியை பொறுத்த மட்டும் இன்னோவேஷன் இல்லை அப்படின்னா வில் கம் அவுட் ஃப்ரம் த பிளாட்ஃபார்ம். ஸோ எங்களோட இன்னோவேஷன் டெய்லி ஃப்ரெஷ்ஷில் என்ன இன்னோவேஷன் அப்படின்னா, ஓல்டன் டேஸில் ரீட்டைல் போனீங்கன்னா யூ வில் கெட் 1 லிட்டர் பேக், 1.5 லிட்டர் பேக் அப்படி தான் இருந்தது. அந்த பேக் சைஸ்லேருந்து நாங்கள் என்ன டிஃப்ரென்ஷியேட் பண்ணோம் அப்படின்னா, கன்சியூமருக்கு சின்ன பேக் சைஸ் கொடுக்கணும் அப்படின்னு பிளான் பண்ணுவோம். லைக் 200 ml அஃபோர்டபுள் ப்ரைஸ் 10 rupees எம்ஆர்பி அப்படின்றத வந்து கொடுக்கணும். ஸோ அப்படி கொடுத்தா வாட் வில் ஹேப்பன், ஒரு ஃபேமிலி போச்சு அப்படின்னா அவங்களுக்கு வந்து ஒரு 4 ஃப்ளேவரில் ப்ராடக்ட் கிடைக்கணும் வித் அஃபோர்டபுள் ப்ரைஸில் அப்படின்றதுக்காக 200 ml சின்ன ஸ்மால் பேக் சைஸில் கொடுத்தோம். அப்போ 50 ரூபா கொடுத்து ஒரு ஃப்ளேவர் வாங்குறத 50 ரூபாய்க்கு 5 ஃப்ளேவர் வாங்கலாம் டிஃப்ரெண்ட் பேக் சைஸில். அப்போது அந்த ஃபேமிலியில் இருக்கிற ஃபேமிலி மெம்பர்ஸ் வந்து 5 ஃப்ளேவர்ஸை வந்து டேஸ்ட் பண்ணலாம் வித் ஹைஜீனிக்காக. ஷேர் பண்ண வேண்டியதில்லை. தே நோ நீட் டு ஷேர் இட். ஸோ இந்த கான்செப்டை வந்து ஒரு 17 இயர்ஸ்க்கு முன்னால் நாங்கள் எடுத்தோம். அது வெரி சக்ஸஸ்ஃபுல் ஸ்ட்ராட்டஜியாக இருந்தது. அதனால் என்னென்னா எங்களுக்கு வந்து பிஸ்னஸ் க்ரோ ஆச்சு. ரீட்டைலர்ஸ்க்கு ஒரே ரீட்டைலருக்கு நாங்கள் டிஃப்ரெண்ட் ஃப்ளேவர்ஸ் வந்து ஒரே பேக்கிங்கில் கொடுக்க முடிஞ்சுது. ஸோ இந்த இன்னோவேஷன் எங்களுக்கு இன்றைக்கி வரைக்கும் வந்து சக்ஸஸ்ஃபுல்லாக இருக்குது. எங்களோட பிராண்டு பார்த்திங்கன்னா டெய்லி, மெரிபா பன்னீர், அக்னி அப்படின்ற எனர்ஜி ட்ரிங்க் இதெல்லாம் நாங்கள் பண்ணிகிட்ருக்குறோம். அந்த இன்னொரு சக்ஸஸ் என்ன அப்படின்னா எனர்ஜி ட்ரிங்க்கில் வந்து எல்லாமே வந்து பேக் சைஸ் வந்து 150 rupees, 100 rupees, 75 rupees அப்படி தான் இருந்தது. அந்த எனர்ஜி ட்ரிங்கை வந்து எங்களோட மார்க்கெட்டிங் ஸ்டைலில் வித் குட் குவாலிட்டி அந்த அஃபோர்டபுள் ப்ரைஸில் 200 ml பேக் சைஸில் 10 rupeesக்கு கொண்டு போய் கொடுத்தோம். அது வந்து எங்களோட கஸ்டமருக்கு வந்து வெரி ஈஸி டு கன்சியூம், 10 rupeesக்கு அஃபோர்டபுளாக கிடச்சிது. ஸோ அந்த எனர்ஜி ட்ரிங்க் எல்லாருமே ஹை எண்டில் இருந்தவங்க தான் யூஸ் பண்ண முடியும். 50 rupees, 100 rupees, 75 rupees அப்படின்றத வந்து வெரி ரீச்சபிளாக 10 rupeesக்கு கொண்டு போய் கொடுத்தோம். These are all our innovative and success. Thank you.
Thank you, Isaac sir. Now let me go to my favorite subject, and that is ice creams. And after that I'll go to my wife's favorite subject, that is diamonds. But Vanji sir, ice cream is a very joyful category, and it's very fiercely competitive as well. Anybody in this room who doesn't love ice creams? See, everybody loves ice cream. No, doesn't love. That means everybody loves. But how do you build a distinct identity rooted in tradition, especially as new trends enter the market? Various flavors, various types of trends are coming in ice creams as well, and various formats, various distribution strategies, various pricings, etc. So how do you differentiate, Vanji sir, keeping in mind that you have approximately 27 retail outlets currently?
Right. For us, ice cream is just not a product. We treat every customer experience by giving them joy. That is what we work in our organizations. It's a 28 years heritage, deep rooted with tradition and love. So that is what making us run all these years. When it comes to quality, we do it with passion and with the highest ingredients that is possible, and that is the one thing which we have seen in our all these years, that we haven't done any mistake, because your product quality is the most important thing when it comes to experiencing the food or your desserts. So when it comes to your competitiveness in the market, competitive landscape when you talk about. It is, it's a deep-rooted thing that we maintain with the values, with warmth, authenticity and community. So every innovation that is done, every scoop that is experienced by the customer has to have the nostalgia and the love into it. So once the customer fall in love with the product, your business doesn't, whatever the competition is, the customers are always with you. So that is what we have learned from this. So when it comes to retaining the customers or the customer expectations, of course, again, we discuss with them. We have an experience center where customer can come in, we can discuss on new recipes, give them. Once we get the feedback, then launch the market without altering the nostalgia, the indulgence factor, which plays a major role in our business. So that is how we maintain it, and it is going through. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Manju sir. Aishwarya, you have entered a space traditionally run by you.
Just adding on to what Vandi uncle had to say. Me coming from Coimbatore myself, as a fan of Boomerang.
Very good.
So he asked me as he got on to say, do you know who I am? Of course, who doesn't know you, because you crafted the sweet part of our childhood.
Absolutely.
We never forget Boomerang for what it is.
Good. And likewise, Aishwarya wants every one of you to be a fan of her products also. They are diamonds, you know. And on that note, Aishwarya, you have entered a space, you know, which is traditionally ruled by legacy and trust. How do you build a trust in a modern digital first diamond brand, which is not, I will use the word original, but a lab grown, if I am correct. I'm a novice here, but still, you know, in a lab grown brand, how do you create that trust?
Very true. Jewelry is industry which is run by trust price. But we are into at least Wonder Diamonds. We are into lab grown diamonds. Right? So we do not have per se a legacy because it's pretty much a new segment. But what we do understand is what is a factor that is very influencing a legacy brand. It's like if you buy a jewelry from a legacy brand, you can always go back and exchange. Right? That's the primary underlying thing. So right now we may not have a legacy of 60, 70 years for the brand, for the product category, but what we did decide is let's give buyback, let's give exchange. So that has been a very influential factor to build trust in what we sell.
Sure. And the larger question here was about the lab-grown diamonds and its acceptability across the country. What are your, you have around 23 showrooms, and I think that is a testimony of the fact that it has been accepted well across the customers, especially the women customers. But how difficult or easy it is, to market a lab-grown diamond vis-a-vis a traditional diamond? And where do you see this category going? Because 23 showrooms is not a small feat by any means.
I think any new category is a bit of a challenge to make sure, and especially if it's a high value product, it's quite difficult to make sure that people come and try that product. That when we started 4 years ago, it was quite difficult because to make them understand what lab-grown diamond is and how good it is, and it is as good as a mined diamond, also has that much value, was a little challenging because we had to spend a lot of time in educating the customer than actually converting it to sales.
Absolutely.
But over a period of time, now everybody knows lab-grown diamonds. It's not very difficult anymore. It's quite easy for us to actually get into the sales pitch, moving forward from the educational pitch of it.
Thanks, Aishwarya. Now I am feeling hungry, so we all, but still some more time to go. So who better than Mr. Bala to help me in that? I think all of you must have tried Hari Bhavanam restaurants. I think Raju has, Bala sir. And one thing when he was talking about that, we are only in Coimbatore is something which has stuck up. So I will ask first that question, but before that, I thought, okay, with 9 outlets in Coimbatore only, food is deeply personal and tied to tradition. In this case, it's tied to your tradition as well, especially in Tamil Nadu. What happens when traditional limits scale? How do you adopt? What kind of innovation you have done, and in terms of menus, formats, etc. And how have you taken your legacy over the last so many years and decades?
As you all know, food is a very sensitive product to retail. We usually see that in our homes where a wife or mom cooks and we say that this is not good, I didn't like this. And whereas now we are cooking with the help of Northeast people and some regional people to do that and satisfy a man. Satisfying a man's standard is the biggest thing that with a mom or a wife even can't do that. And we are trying to do that. So such a challenging business is the food industry, very, very sensitive. And there are two things we look at it like. One is from the part of the retailer and the other part is from the customer. So as a retail food business operator with a legacy of around 55 years, we have got our own systems in place. So we start documenting all products of ours. We have more than 500 to 600 products in non-vegetarian and vegetarian and even in desserts, juices and everything. So we do documentation of each product, like the recipes or the systems, the standard operating procedure for each and everything. So I think that system has to be put in place. Only systems should work. So there are systems in each and every area where we procure the vegetables or meat or the grocery, and how do we cut and clean it for production, and how the production happens and it is transported to the outlet. We do a central kitchen kind of setup. Starting from pickle to biryani, we produce from the central kitchen and we give it to the outlets. And there is very minimal operation in the outlets. So all the documentations and procedures are in place. So I think that is a very needed thing for a restaurant that we are doing it for years. And moreover, the location of the restaurant is a very huge impact for the business. So normally the people where they gather, there we choose our restaurant locations. So we need not go in search of customers. We go and place our restaurant where there is a crowd of customers. So we give a good ambience. People need a good parking, nice restrooms, pleasing employees to serve them, and they need a very great dining experience as a whole. So in these areas, we try to put ourselves inside and satisfy those customers, because we need to earn the customer, not the money first. So for years, we have earned more than 30 lakhs of customers. So with that, we are trying to do the business now. So initially, a restaurant should earn customers, not money. That is what we think. And my father also used to say that the consistency of the food is a very must for a restaurant. And we should not concentrate only on the cost of the food for production. So the taste, consistency and everything matters. We should always keep them happy. So we are trying to attract all kind of people in a family, like the youngsters are there, the middle-aged people are there, the old-age people are there, young kids are there. And now we found out that the young kids are the one who decide where they will need to go, which restaurant they need to go. So we should attract them first to bring the whole family to our restaurant. So we are trying to bring in nice dining experiences, like modern foods. which young crowd doesn't eat nowadays. You would have seen in malls, people go, the young people doesn't come to the regional outlets, they go to the western kind of outlets like McDonald's or KFC or Taco Bell or something, because they find interesting to post that in their Insta, taking a selfie and posting it. But whereas our regional food doesn't have the looks to post it in the Instagram. So nowadays we are working on that. New product developments should be done to attract those young crowds, and we are doing robotic automations to serve them on the table and making their dining experience still more better. And ordering system also, we are trying to implement new technologies like they can scan from the table, they can order from the table, and no one has to go and interact with them. And they like to spend more time in a restaurant, and they like to make it a beautiful dining experience. So as a whole, these are the systems that we are trying to implement, and we are implementing it. And soon there will be a new generation attraction in this business, I think.
Fantastic. Bala sir, I think the best part was on the customer and not the money. And we all are in that business, we all know that. But here is a living legend, the brand, 55 years, 30 lakhs plus customers. But the last point about the kids, because what has happened in 55 years is history and a rich legacy, point taken. But now, like Bala sir said, the challenge is with the new age customers. One apparel brand 100 years old, had invited an ex-agency just to tell them, okay, I want to look young. I want to look cool. Same thing that Bala sir said, okay, I am not in those outlets like McDonald's or Burger King, Pizza Hut, etc., where I can post on, Instagram, because if they are coming in my restaurant. But then he has tried to get in technology, he has tried to get modern food, change the menu, and more experience, etc. So heads off to you, Bala sir, for this. And since you used the word technology, I will now go to Sridhar sir, who is from Salesforce. In your experience over the years, and now you interact with so many retailers across the country in all categories, Sridhar, what do you see as a major challenge for a retailer in technology adoption? And how do you think that today's retailers can overcome that missing area in technology innovation or technology adoption, or for that matter, mindset?
Yeah, thanks, Hitesh, for the question. So just a little bit about Salesforce, and we have a booth outside, so I would love for you to stop by and understand a little bit more about what we do. But again, I'll start with the innovation mindset, and I would like to sort of think of ourselves as a very innovative company as well. In fact, we are widely credited for being a pioneer in the SaaS space, which is software as a service. We were one of the very few companies way back in 1999 which essentially offered software which was on a cloud. So we literally sort of invented this whole category of the software industry called SaaS. And it's been a great journey of 25, 26 years now. We've got more than 200,000 customers. And we are in the business of improving customer relationships, right? At the end of the day, all of us here, whatever companies we represent, if there is that one thing that's missing, which is customers, you don't have a company, right? You could have a product, but that doesn't mean you have a company. You have a company only when you have customers, and customers who pay for your product or your service, and they keep coming back. Therefore, I think it's very obvious to everybody that ultimately you have to understand who your customers are. I'm sure all of us have done that in our own way. But once you start scaling and becoming big, your organization becomes complex. You're serving markets in multiple regions, countries, and so on and so forth. Your organization becomes very complex. Business processes, they mushroom. You have various teams, sales, service, marketing, and all of them are interacting with your customers in some fashion or the other. And ultimately, we help you to, collect all that information and really help you to understand your customers better, right? That's That's really what we do. And I think, we've been, proud to say that we are, widely successful in whatever it is that we have done. We are the market leader in the CRM space for the last, 25 years. And from a little company which started, again, literally out of a garage, we are essentially a market leader, right? So coming to your question, Hitesh, what I see is the importance of data, right? And it might sound a little obvious to many of you in the room, but I cannot emphasize enough the importance of data, right? As you grow as a company and you have a lot of the historical information with you over time, there is, tremendous amount of insights that you can draw from it. And even to this day, I find organizations, really not doing a good job of, leveraging the data that they have with themselves, right? And again, you can take any category, whether it is the restaurant business or the agarbatti business or the lab-grown diamond business, any business for that matter. Ultimately, you have to go back to what the data is telling you. Yes, as entrepreneurs, I'm sure, people take, decisions based on gut and experience, but I don't think, anything beats what the data is telling you, right? So I would say that is one thing that, I would like people to focus on. Figure out a way to get all of the data into one place, whether it's your customer interactions, your interactions with your suppliers, partners, vendors, and so on and so forth. And today technology has progressed so much that getting all of the data into a single platform has also become a lot more easier, right? And then the quality of the data also becomes very important. Cleaning up the data and storing it in a fashion so that it becomes easier for you to analyze the data and draw insights from it is something that I would say it's almost an obvious thing, but still many companies don't get it right. And there could be various reasons for that. And just to take a few more seconds, Hitesh, is that Amarnath here, who represents Cycle Agarbatti, he's a customer of Salesforce, right? And they're going to use us for what we call as lead management, right? So where are these people from? What interests are they showing in my brand and product? And can I understand a little bit more about their needs? And using that information, can I serve them better? Right? So that's it's a very small, but that is the genesis of that relationship with that we have with Cycle Agarbatti, right? So when you think of Salesforce, I would like you to think of not us as a global brand, etc., but somebody who can help you to help that customer, help you understand the customer a little better. That is all I would like you to sort of think of us as, and that could be the beginning of a journey, and that can expand into a lot of things that I was saying. We can help your salespeople be more effective when they're selling to customers. We can help you to deliver a better level of customer service. How do you personalize your marketing? Because everybody wants to be treated as an individual, right? We may be in the same age group, but my interests are very different from probably what his interests are. So therefore, how do you serve? So I think there are plenty of applications from a technology standpoint. But all of that, and then of course, you hear a lot about ChatGPT and AI and all of that, which is all great, right? And and we have AI offerings as well. But all of that is irrelevant if you don't have data. So that's the one thing that I want to leave you with, and we can help.
Thanks, Sridhar. That was very insightful. Without technology, today at least, now when we were discussing a few years back, that was still at its nascent stage about what's going on today. But today it's an imperative. Without technology, I think it would be very difficult for brands to conquer market share and definitely in the near future to survive as well. Thanks for your insights, Sridhar. Amarnath, Cycle Agarbatti is known for its marketing, and you have done some fantastic campaigns. What is your philosophy of of marketing, or can you share some marketing decisions where you had to balance modernity and without alienating your core customer base?
It's a very interesting question, and for a legacy brand, as they say, which is equally modern. One of the challenges we had in early 2000 was, how do you take this brand, which is very, very centric to the devotional space, to minds of consumers, which is beyond the house, beyond in their daily lives and what they do. And at that point of time, our second generation, Mr. Murthy, he said that we have to come up with something which is beyond gender, beyond age, beyond any kind of category that we categorize the consumers in. And hence we said that strategically that platform of choice will be cricket. And why cricket? Is because whether it's that the player who is on 99 runs, your favorite player, you want him to score 100, you fold your hands and you pray. Whether it's having that last wicket in that penultimate over or the last over, you again fold your hands and pray. Or whether you have to score close to 36 runs in the last over, you will again fold your hands and pray. So that's where we said that this is one platform that will not just be relevant in 2000s, but in centuries ahead, this will be the platform and will be the passion for India. So we said that Cycle as a brand will have this platform, which is the passion for India, and every Indian will just stand up and fold their hands and pray, whether it's for their favorite team. And these days with IPL, cricket has also become cool, so it also rubs back on the brand. So whether you're cheering for Chennai Super Kings or whether you're cheering for India, campaign still holds very strongly, which is Pray for India. And that's been one of the examples where we have stayed relevant to the times, become modern. But the core of the brand still focuses on three things. When the woman of the house, she prays for the future of the family. She prays for very simple things. One is health, second is wealth, and third is happiness. And that's what the brand stands for. And that's the fulcrum of our lead brand, which is Cycle 3-in-1, which is the largest agarbatti brand in the world. And which is positioned on health, wealth and happiness. And these are the fundamental things that any one of us in this room will actually fold our hands and pray for. So that's been our mantra, and that's what we've been doing, and we'll do it for decades again.
Thanks, Amarnath. I think health, wealth and happiness, all of us want it across the globe, and you are championing that cause through Cycle Agarbatti. Saurabh, your idea, and this is more related to the innovation part, that the new concept that we were discussing about the retail, can you share some light on that so that we can get some inspiration there as well?
So, I think whether you talk about agarbatti or whether you talk about retail, there are market leaders. There are market leaders, and they are extremely big market leaders, which is already operating. And our take on this is that when we look at marketing, I think the end objective remains: how do I make myself visible to a customer's mind? He should be able to see my product and remember. I think that's the fundamental. And it's very important when we look at entering new segments in retail, and that's a challenge that we are overcoming. So when we decided that we need to get into modern format retail, so how do I make myself visible? And that's a function of what is the product that I'm going to offer to the customers. So we figured out who are the top 5 players in the market, in the supermarket space, in the hypermarket space, in the fashion retailing space. And if you ask a customer what he needs, answers will not come. And believe me, I have done not one, almost 10, 20, 30 focus group discussion. If you ask a customer what he needs, the answers will be all around. It's because the key thing is to figure out what is the unstated need of a customer.
Absolutely.
And when that need comes as an addressed product in front of him, your marketing is 80% done. And this is a very key thing. And I realized it practically. I kept asking my potential customers, what do you need? What do you find missing? And I always get answers which are not the answers. And that's the philosophy we adopted when we started looking at retail. And what we realized this is not what customers said, is there's a space between convenience, availability, and there's a space between I should say how a typical retail location has to be. Because you see, a customer today has an option if he needs something, he can order in 10 minutes and get it in his place. So my fundamental question is, for a lot of businesses that we, all of us are getting into or are in, why should a customer walk into a store?
Yes.
I think that's an answer that we have given to ourselves by focusing on unstated needs of customer and trying to create a nation that's very soon we would be entering a Chennai market in a big way, all across the Chennai, into a small format retail, focusing on daily needs category, and selectively on a big format, which will be a kind of a hyper or a mega format, which will cover the entire life cycle need of a customer, basically focusing on creating retail destination. So that's our take, and I think in months to come, probably we'll be able to unfold many of our thought process and take learnings from the market as we go ahead.
My next question would be to Aishwarya and Vanji sir, is about the challenges that they face in product and the consumer adaptation, and what challenges, or maybe it can be a business challenge which you have overcome. What has been the major challenge, Vanji sir, in your business that you feel that and the way you have overcome that challenge is something that if you can share as a learning for our audience.
One thing, when it comes to tradition, we keep the dear one, that is your commitment to the product, that is the passion and the quality that you make. That is one we maintain whatever innovation is happening. But when it comes to innovation, yes, we have a good R&D team with us who seriously works on the products, the trends, but still in food business, it's not easy. As you see nowadays in the reels, every day there is a product somebody is shooting, and every customer wants everything. But it's not so easy to keep that. So we need to study, understand the customer needs and what sells. It is not possible today you will make this, tomorrow you make that. It is not possible. So the R&D teams are very nowadays they are very busy. They have to invent every day. Thanks, we have a good, our co-founder is also a food tech, and our next gen is also a food tech. So we are very happy that our R&D team is effectively working on those things, and we closely work with our customers where they come in, taste our samples, share their thoughts. So to maintain all these things in food industry particularly is very difficult, because too many people offers too many things, people are confused and they have to decide out of that. That is very difficult. But thank God that we are keeping up with the pace. Learning is every day. So things are moving forward. And one thing is that unless if you don't have a knowledge on how to do it or how to make it, it's very difficult to stay in food industry especially.
Thanks Vanji sir. Aishwarya, what about your challenges?
We have challenges are spread across different verticals or departments.
Yeah.
One challenge, the core challenge is because we are into a very high value product and a very capital intensive to set up a jewelry store. So it's quite difficult for us to expand as we wanted, at the speed of what we wanted. That's when we came up with this franchising model. So which made it very easy for us to, I wouldn't say very easy, but it made it possible for us to expand over regions to many different stores. And there's also another way which we use to come up with solutions for challenges is we always make sure that at least most part of our think tank for solutions is in the age group between 25 to 35, so their ideas are fresh, versus somebody like a quality control department will always be a very experienced department. So the ideas will be generated by the newer generation, or something is very fresh, but to validate whether the idea is good or will that really overcome our challenge, there's always somebody experienced. But the experienced person also comes with a very progressive mindset.
progressive mindset, and I think this is again a beautiful learning. You have got younger people for idea generation, but the more experienced older people validate that, and that's how you get the equilibrium right. Isaac sir, even after 10, 15, 18 years, you are still selling it at 10 rupees, the bottle. What is the secret of that? What's your secret sauce? And please give the background for that.
Yeah. We launched the 10 rupees FRP product in Delhi in the year of 17 years back. Till today, we are maintaining the same. The product daily is maintaining 10 rupees MRP. Not only daily, other products like Meriba, Agni. Still, we are maintaining the MRP of 10 rupees. 17 years back, the sugar price was 11 rupees. Now the sugar price is 37 rupees, I hope. And the resin price is 40 rupees per kg. Now the price is 120 rupees. And the raw material cost, and the logistic cost very high. Even though we are maintaining the 10 rupees MRP without any changing of quality in the product. What we started in the quality of product before 17 years, still we are maintaining. How it is possible? It's very challenging for us to maintain the MRP. But the innovation and working of backward integration is helping us to maintain the MRP. Means we are working lot of backward integration in our in-house. Like we are manufacturing our own preforms, our own blowing, our own filling. That leads to reduce the transportation cost, loading cost, unloading cost, lot of things, and wastages, so many things we are reducing. And we are reducing our overheads, making our production in a large scale. And it helps to reduce the overheads. So, and we are making our own green energy, 100% green energy for our manufacturing facility. These are all the things to reduce our overheads, to maintain the MRP 10 rupees till today.
Excellent. 17 years and still 10 rupees. A big hand to Isaac sir. Sridhar, a final question before we end this session, because it's almost time. Sir. What would be your suggestion, recommendation to retailers? How can they adopt technology? Because we have got retailers of various categories, various sizes, with various needs and various requirements. So what would be your suggestion?
Yeah, thanks, Jayesh. Again, I think that's a little bit of a tough question. See, I think it really depends on the specific retailer or brand that you're talking about, their own maturity, so to speak. The mindset is important. Technology, ultimately, of course, I think it is inevitable that any company that wants to scale and grow has to adopt technology, right? I think that's a given. And I'm sure all of you will agree with that. But where and when, of course, is the big question, and how much do you want to invest is the question mark, right? Because every investment, just like any other investment, the investment in technology also should yield results, and you have to see natural benefits for that investment in return, right? So while that is a very legitimate question, I think it will be good to take a step back and understand what inefficiencies are there in your existing landscape. Is it processes? Is it with regards to people? If you have retail stores, you have a good handle on inventory management or billing. I mean, it could be a whole host of things. maybe, you know, taking stock of what those inefficiencies are, what are those problems that ultimately I would, you know, put the angle of, you know, is it really impacting your customer experience, right? Is that, you know, bad experience, you know, leading customers to go away from your brand to other competitors? That may be one way of, you know, looking at it, right? And start with that. And I say that mainly because, you know, I come from a CRM company, and for us, ultimately, if you're not really, you know, delivering to that experience of the customer that they expect, then, you know, eventually you're going to lose them one way or the other, right? So that may be a good place for you to, you know, look at. And within that, you know, there is obviously sales, there is customer service, there is marketing, there is e-commerce. And a lot of these areas are also, you know, they help you to generate revenue, right? So it's a good area for you to invest and also expect a return out of it, because these are results that you can actually measure and, you know, monitor and observe over a period of time to see whether that investment is really making a difference or not, right? So I would say those are 2-3 things, and ultimately, you know, it is also important for smaller companies to really believe that technology is going to make a difference, because if the top leadership itself, they're skeptical about this, then, you know, the junior rank and file will not adopt it, right? We've seen many cases where the investment has been made, but nobody's using it, right? They go back to Excel spreadsheets or whatever it is. So I think, you know, having that mindset and really believing that the technology investment has been made for the right purpose, it is going to help make the life of your employees easier. It is going to make processes more efficient. You have visibility into data to make better decisions. So all of these things are, you know, byproducts and benefits of technology. But you know, the how and the when, you know, will really depend on the maturity and the life cycle of your own organization. This is what it is.
Quickly, in 2 minutes, we'll wind up this question. 3 words which are their mantras. So, you know, I can ask everybody, please give me 3 words which would be your success mantras. We'll start with, I didn't think we'll start with Amarnath.
3 words.
Only 3 words. No sentences, only 3 words.
Yeah, 3 words. Passion, integrity, and customer as king.
Okay, Aishwarya.
I'm just thinking.
Okay.
Just a lot of things that come to mind. I do last.
Yeah, you'll do last. Vanji sir.
Commitment, quality and patience.
Commitment, quality, patience. Yes, Saurabh sir.
So, mindshare, technology, and patience.
Okay, Srinath sir.
I'll give you the 3 words that are part of the values of Salesforce. Okay, that's an easy one for me. So it's, you know, trust, number 1. Establishing that trust with your customers is very key. Customer success, you know, are you really looking out for their success? And then ultimately innovation. You know, I think you have to always be creative. You have to figure out ways to solve problems in a different way, because your competitor is also thinking about the same things. So therefore innovation.
Isaac sir.
Quality, consistency, maintain the supply chain.
Supply chain, okay, good. And Bala sir.
And
okay.
Retail relationship.
Relationship, okay. Bala sir.
Say consistency, trust, and innovation.
Okay. Now can we have
Creativity, persistence, and integrity.
integrity, consistency. Okay, so I think more or less we have got the mantras here today for innovation. Creativity, integrity, consistency, trust, quality, supply chain relationship, customer success, innovation, patience, mind share. Again, you know, and I think SKUs is what one of our partners, our speakers told. But overall, I think it's the passion that will also, you know, all of them are passionate about their business is what I could realize in this discussion. And that is the core to it. Without being that passionate, it's very difficult. Adopting technology is the core to it, and all these mantras are their success mantras. That's why over the years and decades, they have been a successful brand. Thank you very much, esteemed panelists, for sharing your insights today here with us. It was a pleasure, and thanks to the audience as well, for being a wonderful audience. We won't be having questions here because we are already time's up. But anybody who would like to interact can interact after the session gets over.